Hello guys, welcome into my art vlog. As you've noticed, I've been MIA for about 2 months. We had the holiday season, followed by me going for surgery and recovering from said surgery. So that unfortunately took my time away from doing art. I was in my sketchbook a little bit more, producing some looser, freer stuff than I normally do. Being a realistic artist, my stuff tends to be more perfectionist than sloppy. So it was nice to have that freeing opportunity, and I'm going to pursue that a little bit more. However, I got to get back into doing art. It is February. My butt needs to get in gear and we need to start producing some stuff. There is content that has been produced on the channel recently. I did do a sketchbook tour, so if you haven't checked that out, it is the most important sketchbook to me, and it's essentially the one that got me back into art. If you haven't had a chance yet, I would love for you to go over, check out the video, and take a peek and ponder at what brought me back into the art world. I do have a charity raid trade event coming up over on Twitch. I need to think of a piece for that. I have an idea in my mind. I'm going to look for some reference photos to see if it is feasible. If it is, then I'm going to grid it up and outline it and get ready to go. That's going to be end of February, beginning of March. I also need some bookmarks for prizes for the event. So within the next week or so, I'm going to be getting going on those. The one thing I do want to talk about, however, is going to be something that I'm going to pay a little more attention to. I notice when it comes to my work, there's almost a triangle, and all three points of the triangle affect one another. So it's inspiration, creativity, and motivation. If I don't have the creativity and I don't have the inspiration, I tend to not have the motivation to do anything art related. Actually, if any one of those are missing, I don't have the tendency to do anything art related. And I've noticed that's a pattern for myself. So I'm going to have to figure out when I'm not in the mood to do art, okay, is it a lack of motivation? Do I have shiny syndrome where I'm like, ooh, YouTube, ooh, Twitch, ooh, television, ooh, Instagram, ooh, let's scroll forever on Facebook on my phone. Is that taking away my motivation? Is it a creativity issue? Maybe I need to go on Pinterest and start finding some boards that'll just spark some kind of fire under me that makes me want to do stuff. Maybe I need to go through my phone reel for reference photos that I've taken to see if there's anything there that I forgot about that I really want to do. Creativity is going to be the hard one. I think with creativity, it's one of those things where I'm just going to have to maybe start putting together a toolbox of tools that I can use to get creative. If I've got to scribble on a page or just do circles or do some random activity to try and get the creativity flowing, that's going to be what I have to do. And I'm going to do it in order to get this triangle all together, because once again, if one point is missing, it's not going to work for me. Also, thinking about it now, it's probably the same reason I can never keep my office clean, is the ooh, shiny syndrome. Today is February the 21st. I do have a bit of the month left where I can salvage for art related stuff. I'm supposed to get back to streaming tonight. Tonight is going to be the first time in a while I've actually sit down, pressed live, and been ready to go. I'm also going to try and produce as much art as I can today, even if it's just in my sketchbook. I am going to try and produce something to get in the habit of working every day towards something art related. So one of the projects I've been working on is a 30-day fruit prompt. Now I'm being realistic here and knowing there's no way right now I'm getting 30 fruits done in 30 days. But that doesn't mean I can't challenge myself to get through all 30 prompts. The more important part of this exercise for me is to not be precise and detailed, but instead play more loose and fast with my drawings. The sketches are done in ink, which means I cannot erase the lines, and I'm doing the painting with jelly gouache, which is an entirely new medium for me. It's more about going back to having fun than trying to produce realistic masterpieces. This is why I'm not using expensive supplies or investing a lot of time into it. When I first got back into art in 2021, I had more fun doing simple prompt challenges that I could complete in a single sitting. Somewhere along the way, I lost that. This also ties back to what I was talking about earlier in the vlog about motivation, creativity, and inspiration. The prompts are the inspiration, the no rules leads to the creativity, and the will to complete all 30 prompts is my motivation. The added bonus is that I'm also completing sketchbook pages, as one of my goals for 2024 is to spend more time in my sketchbooks. As I've gotten older, one of my biggest regrets is not having sketchbooks to look back on and see the progression of my art journey. I never kept my high school sketchbooks or art, and that is something now I would love to have reflected on. That doesn't mean it's too late and I can't start today and create for my future, as I'm more than certain I have many more years ahead of me to go. I also feel that sketchbooks are the place where I'm going to grow the most. I can mess around with different techniques, styles, and do the bulk of my practicing without having to worry about producing something amazing. It's going to be about the process and not the final product. I can't remember who first introduced me to that concept, the idea that there are people who enjoy the process of art and people who enjoy the product they produce. In 2023, I was definitely someone who enjoyed the final product, but didn't stop to slow down and enjoy the process of creating the pieces I was completing. Simple things like the feel of the pencil on the paper, or how my pencil crayons blended together to make certain colors, or even the joy of seeing different parts come together to create an overall picture. There is no fear of missing out at this point because, simply put, I missed out. Thanks for sticking with me, everyone. It's been about a week and I haven't done as much art as I was anticipating on doing. As usual, life seems to get in the way. However, I have done a lot of prep work, reference looking work, as well as editing the vlog so far, so not all has been lost. A lot of my focus, however, has been on the charity event coming up on Saturday for me over on Twitch and trying to get everything prepared so it's smooth sailing. One of the big things I had to do was find a reference photo for an image that I wanted to do. One of the things I thought would be really cool would be a butterfly, because butterflies coming out of like cocoons are metamorphosis, changing, moving on, and it had a really good meaning for me, and I knew it was going to fit with the stream theme that I wanted. So I've got my butterfly sketched out, ready to go on a board with tape that doesn't really want to stick. It's supposed to be art tape that's not supposed to rip your paper. The only problem is it's not sticking in the first place to even rip the paper. So I guess it's true to its word, but it's not really helping me a whole lot. The other thing that I'm doing is bookmarks, and you will have seen in the beginning of the vlog of me setting up the blanks for them. But I do have a few done and a few more to go, so I'm hoping that I get that done in the rest of this vlog and I'm able to show you that. The only other thing I'm really working on right now is a piece that's more of a show Plo how well she's doing piece. So when I went back through my most important sketchbook, one of the pieces in there was a graphite drawing of Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider video game reboot series that I had a really fun time doing. I really liked the character design of it, and I decided I wanted to see how it would look using my skill level now as compared to 2021. So I've outlined and started that. Again, that's another stream project. I'm hoping to get that done this week and do a comparison on it. So if I can get that done by the time this vlog is ready to go out, I will add that into the video as well.